125th Street, Harlem, New York. That is where we are today. But I wanted to do a little bit of a different walking tour this time in Harlem because I wanted to start off all the way on the west side and give the audience, give the viewers some perspective, or a different perspective of what Harlem has to offer. So, for some context here, you have the George Washington Bridge all the way in the distance. Looks absolutely beautiful. That'll take you from Manhattan all the way to New Jersey. You have 125th Street, Harlem right in front of us. You'll see the Columbia Business School brand new campus here as well. And on this pier, you'll see people fishing. A lot of the times, especially after work and in the evenings, there'll be dance classes here, all different types of public events. And you have these really great views looking all the way down to the Hudson Yards. So Harlem has a lot to offer. You're right on the water, lots of activities. What you see right here is actually a restaurant and a bar. It's called the Steel Beach. This is a great place to come, particularly after work or during sunset, to grab a drink or grab a burger or something like that. It's a very, very cool spot. Great views of the George Washington Bridge right on the Hudson River, and watch a great sunset. Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be walking the entire duration of 125th Street here in Harlem, New York, all the way down to the Metro North train station that will take you northbound into New Rochelle, all the way up to Stamford, Connecticut, and Greenwich, Connecticut, or it can take you express into Grand Central Terminal. I quickly want to zoom in once more on the George Washington Bridge. Now, funny enough, if you go directly over the George Washington and take the first exit in New Jersey, it'll take you to Koreatown. It's a massive Korean population there, and it's very similar to being in Seoul, actually, with a lot of the Korean coffee shops and the cafes. It's a very, very fun time. However, it's kind of expensive getting there, to be honest, because one way over the George Washington Bridge, I think, is $14.50 one way, which is pretty steep. So we're now exiting the West Harlem Piers Park. We're merging right on the bike path. This is another great thing about Harlem, by the way. This bike path that you're on now will take you all the way up under the George Washington Bridge, or if you head southbound, this will run you all the way to the World Trade Center. If you're a tourist, if you're visiting New York, an amazing thing to do is go cycling. You could take it all the way down Hudson River Park. All along the West Side Highway, you'll see amazing cityscapes of the Hudson Yards, Empire State Building views. You can go through Tribeca, the West Village, and end all the way in Battery Park near the World Trade Center. Hudson River Park is unbelievable. Great experience if you're coming to New York City, particularly during the summer. I want to give everybody a quick food tip here. One of my favorite restaurants in Harlem sits right here on 125th Street and 12th Avenue. It's called Dinosaur Barbecue, and the prices are so affordable. The food is great. I think you can get a sampler platter here with brisket, ribs, like spicy sausage, and 2 sides for $38. Not bad at all. In the summer, I try to go here like once or twice every summer. Dinosaur Barbecue is native to the state of New York, with its original first location in central New York in a city called Syracuse, New York, known for the Syracuse University and the Syracuse Law School. Now, also, Harlem's getting built up pretty big, These buildings that you see here, I believe, is the new Columbia Business School buildings. It's a culmination of 4 individual buildings all along here. If we turn around, you can see Dinosaur Barbecue Harlem, as well as the Columbia Engineering Innovation Hub, just off to the left. If you're wondering how to get here by public transportation, the easiest way to get here, let's say if you're a tourist, you're in Times Square, Midtown Manhattan, just go to the 1 train station and take it all the way up to 125th Street Harlem stop. We're about to be at that station in a second. You get off at 125th Street and check out Dinosaur Barbecue, get a meal here. And then post-meal, you could walk along the Hudson River and maybe get a drink at that bar I was telling you about earlier. Watch the sunset over the George Washington Bridge. This is the Cotton Club. It says Sunday Gospel Brunch, Jazz and Blues, Show and Dancing. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday includes buffet diner, Jazz and Blues. This is a better look at those Columbia Business School buildings. You can see the elevated train tracks. If I zoom in, that's the 1 train pulling into the station right here. This is the Science Center at Columbia University. They're really impressive buildings. Columbia has really expanded their campus. I believe the top 2 most expensive colleges in New York City. Number 1 is Columbia, and number 2 is NYU. I think they may be neck and neck, but you could expect to pay around $70,000 a year if you want to attend Columbia or NYU. Okay, we're now coming up to the 125th Street train station. This is where you can get the 1 train. Right here's a brand new McDonald's location. Here you have it, 125th Street. And now you're going to start to see some of the classic pre-war buildings of Harlem. Harlem also has a lot of really beautiful brownstone buildings too. One of my first apartments in the city was on 127th Street. I was renting a room for $650, I think. Or maybe it was $700. Alright, we have the light. And we're going to be headed eastbound now. We're going all the way from the Hudson River, headed all the way towards the East River. And again, 125th Street, also named Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard.
You can get it. You can get it.
Now, a lot of 125th Street has really been built up. There's a Trader Joe's, there's a Whole Foods now, a Target. So it's really become, I mean, it's always really been a main hub, but now it's even more of a main hub. And I think that's why a lot of real estate developers have been building more and more product, or especially more rental inventory in the neighborhood. Because now there's a lot of shops, restaurants, grocery stores, just infrastructure that you need to build massive rental communities already here in Harlem. Coming up on Amsterdam Avenue now. See, here's a really good example. In the distance here, this is a brand new glass, probably mixed-use building. Maybe office, perhaps some rental apartments, but you're probably going to see a lot of that new development continue to come in the neighborhood. Much of it's done through the process of assemblage. So real estate developers will gradually buy lots over time and then combine those lots in hopes to build a larger project to maximize square footage. You can see another one in the distance too, just right behind this strip mall. Once we cross Amsterdam Avenue, we're going to reach the Grand NYC housing complex. This is a really good example of how the old architecture is kind of mixed in with a lot of the newer developments. So this block here obviously was bought out and that's newer. But if you were to ask me, I really like the pre-war style architecture a little bit better. Maybe adds a little bit more character to the neighborhood as opposed to, you know, just a slab or just a pane of glass, if you will. I mentioned this in a prior video, but I would say from the early 2010s, New York City real estate developers really went crazy on, you know, ultra luxury, floor to ceiling glass window, all glass facades. The good news is a lot of the brick and mortar facades are making a massive comeback. Developers are now choosing to kind of do a 180 on the architectural detail, if you will, that they once have went through with. And a lot of the architects on these projects now are bringing back more of that brick and mortar, that bright red brick facade. And it looks really nice, particularly if you're talking about the West Village, if you're talking about Greenwich Village. I think those style, the red brick facade, fits a little bit better with the overall original characteristics of the neighborhoods. You can see some of the restaurants across the street. I really want to try this place. It says Charles Pan Fried Chicken, serving New York since 1990. I've walked past it a few times. I've never had the opportunity to try it. So Charles Pan Fried Chicken, Amsterdam Avenue. And that's Manhattan Borough President Mark Levine's office. Right across the street. So that is the official office of Mark Levine. Manhattan Borough President. Here we have the FDNY Firehouse. Engine 37, Truck 40, FDNY Harlem. You have the playground outside of the NYC housing. Here we are, West 125th Street, West Harlem. You can get the A, C, B, and D trains or the M60 SBS bus to Apollo Theater. There's also a bus that should take you to LaGuardia, but that's over by the Metro North train station. Many people ask me about gas stations in New York. There's one right here on the corner of Morningside Avenue. It's a Shell gas station. But instead of gas stations, I think the city should be building more infrastructure for EV charging. That's just my personal opinion. Because the future is EVs, right? Tesla, Lucid, Rivian. But if you want the masses to adopt these products and you don't have anywhere for the consumers to charge those products, well, it's not going to work out so well, is it? And particularly in a city like New York, it is so primed for EVs and autonomous driving. So the city should really, really be investing in EV infrastructure. If you think about it, Manhattan is a big grid, right? So for robo-taxis to come here, for Waymos to come here, it would be so easy. And we want an EV future. So hopefully whoever the new mayor is going to be, perhaps they can invest, at least a few $1,000,000 to actually building charging infrastructure in the city. That's my opinion, but this is the Roosevelt Triangle, by the way. We have the lights, so we'll go ahead and cross. I think this is what bus is that? M125? The M60 is going the other way. We'll cross to the north side of the street, just because I want to walk right under the Apollo Theater. And again, this is Morningside Avenue. Here's just another example of some of the new development right on 125th Street. Like, these are all luxury apartments. I mean, Harlem, the whole 125th Street used to look like, you know, the pre-war buildings that you see to the left. And my prediction is that over time, these buildings will fall into disrepair. Developers will see an opportunity, they'll buy those buildings out. And then, whether you like it or not, I think 125th Street increasingly becomes more like this. You can see how this building has this cantilever over the top. This developer, I can almost guarantee you, is probably in negotiations with the owner of this building, and they didn't want to sell, so maybe they have appropriate air rights to build on top of them. So this is going to be difficult to redevelop in the future. This is now 125th Street and St. Nicholas Avenue. I think you could also get the M3 bus here. Fort George, I believe. Usually this guy has these two massive pit bulls here. We'll see if they're still here. Or maybe it's the other guy on the other side. Coming up on Frederick Douglass Boulevard. Old Navy across the street. CVS, and then in the distance you can see that new building. I just noticed this. You have an AMC movie theater up at the top. It's really nice. That's a tremendous cinema up there. Okay, we're coming up to the Apollo Theater. This is the guy with the two pit bulls. He's always here. Check out these dogs here. And here we have it. We're officially walking past the Apollo Theater. It's a little bit windy today on 125th Street. You have a Dave's Hot Chicken location to the right. I think that company just sold to private equity for over $1 billion, I think.
You feel me? That's how he coming. That's how he coming.
This is a really popular sneaker store, this Jimmy Jazz place. I remember when I was in college, you would have kids that would line up outside this Jimmy Jazz for like a new shoe release. And here's the Renaissance New York Harlem Hotel. So you have the original facade in the front, but you have the new modern hotel in the back. And you're pretty much central Harlem, smack dab in the middle here. Yeah, this Dave's Hot Chicken, I forget who it sold to, but I think the guy sold it for like over $1 billion. Very windy. Should have brought my microphone today. This is Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard. And this is the Adam Clayton Powell State Office Building. can see over here some of the really beautiful brownstones. And now we have the Trader Joe's. Target on the left, Trader Joe's on the right. This Jamaican spot smells fantastic. Now on the right, once we get to Lenox Avenue, you're going to have the main Whole Foods in Harlem. So I used to live right off of Lenox and 127th Street. This was way back in the day though. And you have a Starbucks on the other side. This is a very busy intersection because you also have the 2 train here. They're really good. And looking southbound, you'll be able to see the entire skyline of Midtown Manhattan. You can even see the Empire State Building, 270 Park, and 432 Park Avenue. Mango's $1 is actually a really good price. And the next avenue over is 5th Avenue. Seems like almost every single retail front on 125th Street is completely filled, which makes sense because there's so much foot traffic on 125th Street.
Can you take a few steps trying to grab the tree and let's go? That's all. One arm? No, put it like this. Already at the corner.
And the next avenue now is Madison. And then one more is where you would get on the Metro North. It's probably about 100 degrees out.
Why my mom sent me this? One time in a month,
And you could actually see the Metro North pulling in right now. This is a southbound train, so the next stop here is going to be Grand Central Terminal. On the other side, you can get the Stamford, Connecticut or the New Haven lines as well. MTA Metro North Railroad, Harlem 125th Street Station. Pretty easy to navigate around. So if you all enjoyed that walking tour of Harlem 125th Street, starting at the Hudson River and Dinosaur Barbecue, like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and as always, we will see you in the next one. And thanks so much for watching.